Several hundred Vietnamese protested last Sunday at Chinese diplomatic missions in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. Now, there are a couple of interesting things about this. One, the government didn't discourage the protesters, which is unusual for a communist regime. Two, the protests were actually mobilized by the country's bloggers and microbloggers. To tell us more about this turn of events is our contributor in Hanoi, Nguyen Qui Duc.
Much like in the Middle East, the demonstrations here supposedly came together after people used Facebook to get others to gather at the Chinese embassy. They also shared information on blogs such as Dân Làm Báo, run anonymously by journalists. Such sites are often blocked, but the young are pretty good at getting around the firewalls. Other blogs helped to get even larger demonstrations going in Ho Chi Minh City. The protest lasted just a couple of hours under strict control. Under the guise of a letter to her 3-year-old son, journalist and blogger Zat Thao Phuong wrote, "Protests in Vietnam, even peaceful, are a risky adventure on many levels. Even when nothing happens, I didn't want you to see me and the protesters being surrounded by a jungle of cops carrying rifles and batons." Blogger Ho Lan Huong remains upset with the authorities for not being forceful enough against the Chinese. Here's what she posted a few days ago. "Go ahead and name the Chinese as invaders who never abandoned the aim of swallowing up this country. It is no good to shake hands with the dangerous Chinese. Such strong sentiments can land you in jail. That's what happened to Matt Num, a celebrated blogger who received the Human Rights Watch Award in 2008. Last week, she reportedly was released and immediately was driven away from her hometown. Still, she wrote, "Thanks to all the protesters last weekend in Saigon and Hanoi, you've proven to those who've detained me that no one can take advantage of our patriotism, and only those with a certain mission would call these protests against the Chinese violent and illegal." Baivu, another critical blog site, ran interviews with students in Ho Chi Minh City who received warnings from school authorities not to join the protests. One said, "I decided to stay home because I was afraid of being kicked out, but by 8 a.m. I'd received so many messages about other students and intellectuals being there, I couldn't stay home." Another student said, "He's not indifferent to a national situation, but he would only join the protests if they were organized by the government." Many fear a crackdown on bloggers is underway even as the authorities allow a couple of demonstrations. For example, Saigon poet Bui Chiak, arrested after being awarded the Freedom to Publish Prize by the International Publishers Association, was released only to be detained yet again as he boarded a plane for Hanoi a few days ago. I'm Nguyen Qui Duc in Hanoi for LinkAsia.
Link TV is the only U.S. network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs. Programs which connect you to the world. To learn more, visit linktv.org.